Welcome, dear students. In the last class, we have discussed the various properties and the state of a system. To define the state of a system, the number of properties which can be fixed is given by one basic rule that is known as Gibbs phase rule. The rule is this one: small f equals to c minus phi plus 2. Here small f is the number of independent intensive property of the system. Small c is the number of component of the system. Phi is the number of phase. So for example, we can take the example of gas. So in gas, let us consider there is only one component, and let us consider the number of phase. Because the gas, it is having only one phase, so if we put this condition c equals to 1 and phi equals to 1 in Gibbs phase rule, so we will get the number of independent intensive property to fix the system to be 2. So 1 minus 1 0 plus 2, so f equals to 2. So similarly for liquid, so let us consider the number of component is 1. Then as it is liquid, it is only 1. Then the number of independent intensive properties will be 2. Means 2 properties needs to be fixed to define the state of such system, liquid system or gas system. So we can plot against 2 properties to define one state of a system. Let us consider it is x1 y1. So to define another state, so it will be x2 y2. So in 2-dimensional depiction of properties, so one can define the state of the system. So by fixing these 2 properties, the other properties will automatically be fixed. Just like for liquid, so if the liquid exists at 50 degrees centigrade, then if we just define the pressure, then we can find out the other properties at that particular state of that liquid. Let us consider the phase of water and ice together. Then for that mixture of water and vapor or water and ice, let us consider water and vapor. So component will be 1, only water, okay. So it is in vapor phase also, so component will be 1, phase will be 2, then f will be 1, okay. So number of independent intensive properties to define the state will be only 1. So when this liquid and vapor state, these two coexist, so at 100 degrees centigrade, means only one parameter is necessary to define the state of the system. So other parameters are automatically fixed. So pressure will be 1 atmospheric pressure, okay. So as because the temperature is 100 degree centigrade, and at that condition, at that temperature, two phases are coexist for only one component, then the pressure will automatically be 1 atmospheric pressure. So by this way we can find out the number of independent intensive properties for a system. So now let's come to a very important phenomena, that is thermodynamic equilibrium. So actually, to define any state, so I have told you to condition that the properties of the system should be uniform. Second one, those properties should be invariant of time. So they should coexist for at least for a small duration of time. Then only the state of a system can be reached. So for this thermodynamic equilibrium, to get one state in a system, so it should attain thermodynamic equilibrium. So what is actually thermodynamic equilibrium? So for this thermodynamic equilibrium, so these two conditions actually it is valid. So the properties should remain invariant with time and properties should be uniform. So to achieve these two conditions, so there are two ways. So one way is that allowing system boundary to be such that it cannot interact to the surrounding, so that there is no interaction of any property with the surrounding, or from the surrounding to the system there is no interaction. Second one, when system properties are similar to the surrounding, means if the internal properties of the system are similar to the external properties of the surrounding, or to the external properties, or to the properties of the surrounding, then there will not be any interaction of the properties. So whatever property will be remain inside the system will remain the same and uniform. So then only the thermodynamic equilibrium can be achieved. So there is a difference between thermal equilibrium and thermodynamic equilibrium. So here we will see the types of thermodynamic equilibrium. So when a system will be in thermodynamic equilibrium, so to achieve this equilibrium, so three equilibrium states should be achieved simultaneously. First one is a thermal equilibrium, second one is mechanical equilibrium, third one is chemical equilibrium. So all these three equilibrium should coexist simultaneously at the same time to achieve this thermodynamic equilibrium. So what is thermal equilibrium? So this is the equality of temperature. Equality of temperature means suppose one body is having one body A is having temperature, suppose 10 degree. Then if the body is having body B is having temperature 10 degree, then you can say that they are in thermal equilibrium. Okay, so equality of temperature. Then mechanical equilibrium. So if there is no work transfer between the system and the surrounding, then we will call it as in mechanical equilibrium. Basically, this mechanical work or simply work transfer is determined by the difference of pressure. So if there is a misbalance or disbalance of pressure in between the system and the surrounding, then there will be the transfer of work. So we will see this pressure work, how this work transfer happens due to the difference of pressure of the system and the surrounding, so in detail, okay, after one or two lecture. So there should not be any mechanical work transfer between the system and the surrounding. Then chemical equilibrium. So chemical equilibrium means what? There should not be any internal reaction. There should not be any mass transfer from the system to the surrounding, or internally there should not be any reaction. So if a system possesses all these three equilibrium, thermal equilibrium, mechanical equilibrium and chemical equilibrium, then we will call the system as in thermodynamic equilibrium. So thank you dear students for listening to me.